Hello, and welcome to the DSU Sports Update. I'm joined today by head coach Tamika Louis. Coach, welcome back for your third season.
Thank you, I'm happy to be here.
Excellent. Now, Coach, what's the biggest thing you learned from last year's roller coaster season? You guys got off to a good start and they pulled off an upset victory at Vanderbilt, came back to the East Coast, beat Manhattan on the road, and beat George Mason here in an overtime victory. Then you guys got riddled by injury. So kind of talk about the roller coaster year, how it was last season.
We went into last season with a lot of expectations. There was my first year kind of having a group of young ladies that were excited about playing. And I definitely had I got a chance to get my feet wet my first year. And so we had a system going in, and then injury just came out of nowhere. And I think that kind of injury would take any team, 10 steps backwards. Because you lose a starting point guard in Rain Bankston. We had no post presence play, losing Janae Carter with ACL, and then when Tier Hawkins went out, that was a huge blow for us. But I think the biggest thing that I learned as a coach in just my second year is that consistency. And I wish I would have not adjusted so much with the injuries. I wish I would have kind of kept a system in place, knowing that it's not just a short-term game. We're looking for the long term. So, I changed a lot of things up. We did a lot of jump zone defenses, try to save legs, and I don't think I really taught the girls a system that I wanted to teach them. So this year, that's pretty much our theme, just to be consistent, let it work, because eventually it'll all come together.
Okay, now what was the biggest area you wanted to improve on from the overall team's perspective?
We didn't really establish an identity last year. We came out and we said, okay, we're going to try to find a way to score a lot of points, and we were an up-tempo team. And I think at one time, at the very beginning of the season, we were actually leading the Yankees scoring average around 74 points a game. And then when the injury happened, we didn't have that type of scoring power anymore. And so this year, we're definitely not trying to be the team that's going to outscore you, and we're trying to establish the identity of a team that's just, knock down, drag out, defense, and having the attitude of, I may not be able to score because injuries may happen, but you won't score. And I think that's the biggest change for this year.
Okay, now one player that played the entire season last year is Lady Hornets. She's not here right now because she graduated. Talk about the void, the challenge of the void, just kind of get her to, have one of the players come back and fill the void that she's left.
Deanna was huge for us, and she was definitely our MVP last year, and simply because she did all the little things that doesn't show up in the stats. And she was my voice on the floor. She was that third coach that we had out there, and so we haven't been able to fill that void. And I'll be honest, because I don't really have that basketball mind on the floor. However, I think what we'll make up for it is we have a new cast of characters that can do the things that she can do, or even better on the basketball court. So their talent, wise, and you use a Deanna Harmon, but you gain an Amber Bogart, or you get a Rain back. And now we're just kind of stage of trying to teach somebody to kind of step up and be that vocal leader, and that can kind of be that third coach on the floor.
Okay, now looking ahead to this season, you guys played 19 of your 31 games away from home.
Mm-hmm.
So how much of a challenge does that present to you and the rest of your team?
That's huge. That's absolutely huge. Just because we don't have the comforts of home, but I'm actually excited about it because I think that's going to help us in MEAC play. Right now, we're kind of going through some growing pains with all the new cast of characters here, and with Tier coming back and Rain coming back, they have to fit their way back into a system. And so when you're away, you only have us. And we only have us to depend on. We don't have a crowd there, we don't have the comforts of home, and they're going to have to depend on each other and bond with each other. And that's the biggest challenge I'm having right now, is just the chemistry and trying to get them all together. So I think it's going to be a blessing in disguise. I think we're going to be battle tested, road tested, and we have to come together.
Okay, now how do you guys feel about being picked to finish 12th in the MEAC preseason poll?
Oh, wow. 12th, my goodness, 12th. But, that's actually a good thing. You're telling your kids, they think you guys aren't really good. You're picked to finish 12th. And when you say that to Raven and Tier Hawkins, you say, they don't really respect you because you're 12th, and they think you guys aren't good enough to get us out of 12th place. And then we're looking at all the kids that they don't know about, because we're bringing in kids, not like brand new freshmen, we're bringing in experienced kids. So Tier Hawkins is a senior coming back, Rain Banks is a sophomore coming back, Amber Bogart is a transfer junior coming back, Nikki Blackburn is a junior coming back. And so you're kind of saying to them, they don't even respect you guys. And so that hopefully put a chip on our shoulder, and we have to play as if no one's for us except us. So, and we love that. It's not about what everybody else believes in us, it's about what we believe in ourselves. So.
Okay, now speaking of Tier and Raven, how good is it? I know you feel great about this, having them back on the court as a 1-2 punch for your offensive game plan.
I feel great about the fact that I have them back both healthy. A lot of times people don't realize that Raven played with a torn shoulder all year. After she tore her shoulder the West Virginia game, and she continued to play the whole year with a torn shoulder. So, people say her shooting percentage wasn't there, she didn't do these things, but now she's healthy and the twin's healthy. And both of those kids are very unselfish kids. Raven averaged a lot of points because she didn't have twin. When twin was there, her scoring went away, and she looked for a twin. So I think she's going to be happy just having that load off. And now teams can't double twin like they did because we have Raven, and I think they'll be better. I think they're better kids with single coverage. I think they're better kids when they play with better talent. And I feel like it doesn't matter how far we get down, we can come back in a hurry because we have two kids that can score like that.
Okay, now, who's one player you're expecting to make a huge jump from the start of this season by the time the season ends?
Wow. It's so funny. I have a tie between two kids. One is Amber Bogart. She hasn't played in 2 years. She has all the skill level and tools there, and she has something to prove. We have a lot of kids with something to prove, and I'm a coach with something to prove. And I think she's going to have to get the cobwebs out the first 4 or 5 games, but I think by the time the end comes, she's going to be phenomenal because she's physically stronger than anybody on my team. She can play in and out. She's fast. She knows the game. But she just has to get back. She has to get back to the rhythm of actually playing. So I think it's a tie between Amber Bogart and Bree Justice. She's a freshman, but her vision and what she can do on the basketball court, I can't teach. I can never play like that, and I definitely can't teach it. But she's still a freshman, so she's kind of got to get through some learning curves, and she's got a little stronger. But I think by the time the end comes at the end, she's going to be one that makes our team go. I think it's going to be a situation where we're not going to be able to win unless she's on the floor, and I think that's how good both of those kids are.
Okay, I'm gonna get you out of here with this one, Coach. When you're not coaching, when you're not putting together a game plan, when you're not recruiting, what do you like to do?
What do I like to do? Let's see. Well, of course, I have 3 great loves, and that's my nephew Landon and my nieces Zoe and Zari. So I love FaceTiming them. But when they're sick of their TT Mimi, I'm a huge Scandal fan. I'm a huge Scandal fan, so I DVR everything. I don't have time to watch television throughout the week, but on Sundays it's my Oprah day and my Scandal day. And my kids call me Olivia Pope, so I'm like, I got it handled. So that's pretty much my downtime I like to do.
Okay, Coach. Well, good luck to you this year, to the rest of your team. I'm Ben Bullock. We'll see you next time on the DSU Sports Update.